It was a breezy September afternoon as the last bell rang at Cedar Hills High, dismissing students. Jennifer, with her long chestnut brown hair styled in a sleek, straight bob, exiting just above her shoulders, walked out with friends, laughing and flipping her hair. Behind her trailed her younger sister Amy, brooding about how Jennifer always got the perfect hair. Amy self-consciously reached up and touched the short, buzzed hairs on the back and sides of her head. Her undercut felt bristly and foreign to her fingers. She ran her hand over the undershave portion of her hairstyle, feeling the velvety, smooth, shaved area contour to the shape of her head. Amy's fingers traveled up into the longer waves on top that swooped over to one side. She twirled a lock absent-mindedly around her finger. Checking her reflection in a window, Amy examined how the shorter shaved sides accentuated her jawline, while the wavy top added shape and volume. She fluffed the styled waves with her fingers, adjusting the part so it fell just right over her eye. But it still lacked Jennifer's grace. Amy sighed, letting her hands drop in defeat. No matter what she did, her undercut bob cut couldn't compare to Jennifer's flawless, straight and sleek long bob. Here are some more steps continuing after Amy touches the buzzed back of her undercut. Amy felt the prickly shaved hairs on the nape of her neck, a stark contrast to the soft waves on top. She continued tracing her fingers over the buzzed back and sides, becoming increasingly irritated with her undercut style. Amy glanced over at Jennifer ahead of her, hair swaying flawlessly with each step, looking like she just walked out of a shampoo commercial. The buzzed bristles seemed to taunt Amy, a symbol of how she could never measure up to her sister's beauty and popularity. Amy clenched her fists, her envy quickly morphing into anger. This wasn't fair. She was sick of Jennifer overshadowing her constantly. A thought crossed Amy's mind. Maybe it was time Jennifer got a taste of embarrassment and insecurity. An evening of the playing field. Amy started formulating a plan to get back at Jennifer as they walked home from school. A wicked grin formed on her face. She knew their parents would be away all weekend on a business trip, leaving the sisters home alone. It was the perfect setup for payback. Amy decided she would wait for Jennifer to fall asleep, then make her move. She tried to decide on the best way to embarrass her sister. Maybe she could dye Jennifer's hair a horrible color while she slept? No, too temporary. She wanted something lasting. As Amy envisioned grabbing a pair of clippers, an idea crystallized in her mind. She would shave off Jennifer's precious hair. Amy imagined how distraught Jennifer would be to see her lovely locks on the floor. Her smile widened at the thought. Now she just needed to get some clippers. Amy decided to sneak into their dad's bathroom and take his electric shaver. After finalizing her plan, Amy waited impatiently for their parents to finish packing and leave for their weekend business trip. As soon as their car pulled out of the driveway, Amy made her move upstairs towards her parents' master bathroom. She carefully turned the doorknob and crept inside, closing the door softly behind her. Amy didn't want Jennifer to hear anything amiss. Scanning the bathroom, Amy spotted her dad's electric shaver charging next to the sink. Bingo. As quietly as possible, Amy unplugged the electric razor, feeling it buzz to life in her hands. This would work perfectly. Clutching the electric clippers, Amy quietly snuck out of her parents' bathroom and back to her own room. She hid the clippers at the bottom of her sock drawer, buried under piles of clothes so Jennifer wouldn't find them. Amy could barely contain her excitement, imagining Jennifer's long, beautiful locks falling under the buzz of the clippers. For the rest of the day, Amy acted normal, not wanting to clue Jennifer in. She bid their parents farewell as they left for the trip. Jennifer was downstairs in the kitchen, focused on cooking dinner for herself and Amy. The sizzling pots and pans masked any other sounds. Seizing this opportunity, Amy quietly snuck upstairs to her bedroom while Jennifer remained preoccupied. Closing her bedroom door behind her, Amy swiftly walked over and opened up her sock drawer. She dug under the piles of clothes until her hand touched the hard plastic casing of the electric clippers. Gripping the handle tightly, Amy pulled out the electric shears and flicked them on for a moment. The buzz sent a shiver down her spine. After checking that the clippers were ready, Amy switched them off again to avoid detection. Holding the ominous clippers in her hand, Amy felt a surge of power. It was almost time to unleash them on Jennifer. With the electric clippers concealed up her sleeve, Amy quietly descended the stairs. Her heart started racing faster. She could hear Jennifer in the kitchen, pots and pans clattering as she cooked. Amy peered around the corner at her unsuspecting sister. Tiptoeing up behind Jennifer, Amy slowly slid the clippers down into her hand, keeping them hidden. "What you making?" Amy asked nonchalantly, as if she didn't have a sinister plan brewing. Jennifer replied cheerfully, describing the pasta dish she was cooking up. She didn't notice Amy inching closer. With Jennifer distracted, Amy slowly raised the buzzing clippers up behind her sister's head, hungry for revenge. In one quick movement, Amy grabbed a handful of Jennifer's long locks and brought the clippers up to her scalp. Jennifer let out a blood-curdling scream as she felt Amy buzz off a chunk of her hair. "No, please stop," she cried. Amy laughed menacingly, ignoring her sister's pleas as she chopped more of Jennifer's chestnut locks. Jennifer sobbed hysterically. In a panic, Jennifer tried grabbing at the clippers, but Amy yanked them away, sending strands of hair flying. Jennifer thrashed around, knocking over pots and pans, desperately trying to get free from Amy's grasp. Food splattered everywhere. Amy wrestled Jennifer to the floor, straddling her to hold her still. Tears streamed down Jennifer's face as she begged Amy to stop. Holding Jennifer down firmly, Amy continued working the buzzers across her sister's scalp. Brown piles of shorn hair surrounded them. With one final pass, the last of Jennifer's locks fell away. Jennifer went limp, choking back sobs at her bald reflection in the oven door. Amy stood up triumphantly, leaving her sister bald and broken on the messy kitchen floor. Her revenge was complete. Towering over the bald and weeping Jennifer, Amy sneered, "Come on, let's go to the barber to clean up this mess." She yanked Jennifer up from the floor and pushed her out the door toward the car. Jennifer was too distraught to resist. At the barber shop, Amy ordered the barber, "Shave her completely bald. I want no trace of hair left." As the barber ran the clippers across Jennifer's head, Amy laughed. "I told you I'd get payback for you, always showing off your hair." After Jennifer was shorn completely bald, Amy had the barber give her own undercut bob a trim. Amy smiled smugly as the barber buzzed the back and sides to a clean, fresh undercut, leaving stylish full waves on top. Running her hand over her refreshed undercut, Amy said to Jennifer, "Maybe next time you'll think twice before flaunting perfection." Jennifer stared dejectedly at the floor, rubbing her bald head. She had learned her lesson about vanity the hard way. For days after the incident, Jennifer stayed home from school, refusing to let anyone see her bald. She cried daily over her shorn locks. When their parents finally returned from the trip, they were shocked to see Jennifer's shaved head. "What on earth happened?" they asked. Between sobs, Jennifer told them how Amy had shaved her head while they were away. Amy tried to deny it, but there was clear proof. Furious, their dad confronted Amy, demanding the truth. "If you don't tell me what really happened, I'll shave your head too as punishment." With no choice, Amy confessed to her jealous crime but showed no remorse. She had accomplished her vengeful goal. True to his word, Dad took out the clippers and sheared Amy's undercut off until she was shorn completely bald like Jennifer. "Maybe now you'll learn what your sister went through," he lectured as Amy's brown locks fell to the floor. Both girls ended up with bald heads for weeks as punishment for vanity and spite. It was a difficult lesson in kindness for them. After the girls had endured weeks of baldness as punishment, their father called a household meeting.